Welcome to the Builders of Authority podcast, a show committed to helping you build authority for your brand. In the realm of business and personal branding, authority stands as a cornerstone. Authority isn't built overnight, it's built over time. So join us as we build something remarkable together. And now, here's your host, Adam McChesney.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Builders of Authority podcast. We're coming to you live from Adventure Unknown here in Fenton, Missouri. If you haven't been out to Adventure Unknown yet here and you're in St. Louis, feel free to send me a message on social media, and I would love to show you around what we have here, not just the podcast studio that we have with Punchline Productions up here, but all the amazing events that are happening, the amazing people. There's co-working spaces. There's a lot of amazing stuff going on. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're just looking for more networking, right? Send me a message. Let's have a conversation. Let's go ahead and schedule time to have you come up here. So today I'm joined by our new operations manager, Jessica Cochran. Jessica and I have known each other for a few years. We belong to the same parish here in St. Louis at St. Margaret Mary and have a lot of mutual connections. A little over a month ago, she posted about wanting to find a new role, and I immediately reached out to her. We've had a quick conversation at the office, and it seemed like a great fit from the beginning. We've known each other for a couple of years. She officially joined the team about a month ago. It's been a massive blessing to have her, especially with our entire team in Nicaragua, having her at the office and seeing a bunch of the stuff here at Adventure Unknown and on the podcast, but really being able to provide an extra layer of support both to our team and to our clients. So this episode, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into her background and her experience as really like why she joined Builders of Authority, to kind of give an extra point of view from some different things. But I was telling her when she asked, like, hey, how to prepare for this episode, I said it would be cool if we kind of did maybe a monthly check-in at some point, just to kind of do this and say, hey, here's what we're working on in the business. Here's some things that, you know, are going super well. Here's some areas of opportunity where we've really like gone through it. And I think it would be good for the both of us, for the listeners, and for our team to kind of experience that as well. So we'll try to do more of those episodes in the future. But Jessica, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. How is it being sitting there versus, watching it like you've done in the past?
Yeah, usually I'm taking pictures and kind of like doing B-roll. Good. I'm excited to be here. I've loved every day I've had at work so far. So every day I learn something new, meet new people, and now getting to join this aspect of it and help communicate everything that we have going on with the mastermind, with our services, and just with our team is a great opportunity.
Love it. So tell people a little bit about kind of who you are, your background, all that good stuff.
Gosh, who am I? Well, I have 5 kids. So right off the bat, most people think I'm crazy, which I'm not. So we have a very full house. But I have a background. I grew up in martial arts. My mom was a single mom, ran her own business. So my heart goes out to entrepreneurs, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. I love serving entrepreneurs because I was raised by one. And then I was a high school math teacher. And then I built a community for moms with preschool kids, and we did a nature program. And then I've been working with entrepreneurs ever since. So I've led some mastermind communities, project manager, event manager, done a lot of things in a lot of different roles. But now I'm here and just kind of bringing all my past experiences to serve Builders of Authority.
That's awesome. So one of the things, I actually just had to record that solo episode where I was kind of thrown off, thanks to Uncle Bob for twisting his ankle. But one of the things I talked about, so I kind of talked a little bit about just like mental health as an entrepreneur. Okay. But I talked about the secondary thing is personal branding leading to new employees. Mm-hmm. So, one of the things that we're seeing right now, we just got off an interview, right before this,
right,
where people are like, hey, like months ago, I wanted to work for you. Obviously, you and I have been connected for a while. Like we have a lot of mutual connections and things like that. So let's start there. Like, how did kind of what you knew about maybe me or our company or just meeting the team, kind of like what was that process for you like of making sure that the next place you went was like where you wanted to be?
Yeah, for sure. So we got connected back in 2022, I think. But you have I think my my husband's family has known your family,
Yeah.
kind of went to school together. St. Louis is one of those things where you kind of know everyone. But since being connected with you online, I've seen kind of your journey with your businesses, with your family, and I've seen you grow your personal brand. So then when I started thinking about, well, who do I want to work with? Because for me and the point I'm at in my life, I wasn't really looking for just any job. I really wanted to join a mission, join a vision, and really make sure that I was investing my time, since I'm away from my kids, into something that I can be on board with and like really dive into. So I've watched you grow over the past few years. I've watched your business journey for sure. And I think over the past few months, I didn't even realize it. And I kind of think of it as like just divine timing. But I remember seeing a post how you were expanding your team and you were expanding your business, and everything was kind of growing so rapidly. So when I did start to consider new positions or kind of think about how we were reworking my time and my husband's time with our kids, it was easy because you've been so transparent and you've built this habit of sharing what's going on. So I knew so much about you before I even started going down the rabbit hole of like, is this going to be a good fit or not? So personal branding for me, like, I know you've taught like our mastermind and really our team too. Like, you've been so consistent to show up. I felt like I already knew you, which I think was the purpose of what you've been doing over the last 4 years. So it made it an easy yes.
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate you sharing that, because like I'm trying to dive into more of like how the other side looks at stuff, whether it's from the personal branding or from an employee or from a client, because I feel like it's so easy to get not just stuck in our own way, but we're tunnel vision to say,
Right.
hey, I'm showing up on doing this thing. I know I'm getting the result I'm looking for, but what is the experience that people are feeling, and where can we continue to improve at? Because in full transparency, like when I saw you make that post, like it wasn't like we were actively hiring for that role. It was kind of like, hey, I need somebody here in St. Louis to help bridge the gap and to kind of help hold me accountable. Like when the team says, hey, Adam, we need you to do this thing, or you promise this, and do all those different things. Cause I'm really good at vision casting and saying, hey, here's where we're going. But having somebody to be able to like say, okay, but here's, like, I know you said we're going to do that in 3 months. Like, we actually need to do it in 6, and here's the other people we need to do. And so, like, being able to say, hey, like, obviously very similar, you know, knowing you and knowing your past experience and seeing you do everything online, it was like I needed somebody, like not just anybody, I need somebody that I could trust, that could help understand what I'm trying to accomplish. And so like it was kind of just that right timing at the right place.
Yeah, love that. And so I've worked with visionaries before. I say I'm the implementer to the visionary, right? So I can see your big vision and get on board with it, especially if it's a vision and mission that I can believe to my core, and then figure out like, okay, we're going to take these 10 steps and then these baby steps in between. So I love that. It's like my jam. That's what I love to do. So whether that's an event or like an entire business, that's something that I've found over the last decade, like really gets me, like I can get up in the morning and be excited to go to work for it.
Amazing. So what's it been like actually working with me? I'm sure the audience would love to know. Be honest.
You love your drinks. He's got a lot of different drinks he likes.
Switch it up.
You are a bevy guy, I guess. Usually we talk about bev girls, but you're a bevy guy. No, you surround yourself with great people. Your clients are, like we said on our interview this morning, it is great to work for a company, and because of your personal branding, when clients come in, we don't have to like oversell what we're doing because they already know what we're doing and they have this foundational trust with us. So I've seen that with our client experience team. I've been on 1,000 calls in the last 30 days, whether they're internal or external, and having a foundation of trust that you've built with your team, with your clients, and then even people who you've worked with in the past, I've seen like, you know, like they're like, you're not going to find people, they're coming to you. So it's like that attraction, because you've built that trust over time, has been really impressive. So and you do like a lot of voice texts. You stand up, you sit down, you move around a lot. So.
I don't sit still. I don't sit still. What's it been like, working with the team remote, and then also probably like, I assume, I can't remember if you like knew much about Nicaragua, or just like learning about a new country. So like,
Yeah.
so talk about like the remote aspect and like how you and I fit in. And then also talk about, you know, I've been down in Nicaragua 7 or 8 times. I absolutely love the people there. I love our team. But just to kind of like a lot of people, and I guess I'll preface this by saying a lot of people say like the word virtual assistant, or they say like all those different things. We're talking about like the Philippines or Pakistan, and I have nothing against all those things, but it's like people think Nicaragua is like so far away. It's really not that far away. I've been there like 7 or 8 times. And then also a lot of them have been to the States or gone to college in the States. So it's not as bizarre or out of the box as most people would think it.
Yeah, for sure. First, I'd like to go sometime.
Yeah,
so,
we can. Let's make it happen.
Can't wait to go. But we do not have like a team of virtual assistants. We have incredibly talented and incredibly experienced team members that have already taught me so much. And I think the remote aspect is like hard sometimes because we're all on screens. But I feel like we're constantly in communication. We're constantly on Slack. We're constantly like calling each other on Zoom. So the screen time for me is different.
Yeah.
I like to spend my time outdoors for sure. But so the screen time is hard. But other than that, I know that it's nice that they're all together and then now we're together. So bridging that gap is, you know, thankfully we have technology. But I really do feel like our teams are close, and it's not like we're all spread out all over the world. And I think that, you know, Nicaragua, the town is similar to St. Louis, like everyone kind of knows each other. So I like that, just like learning more, you know, it's kind of like a mirror image. It's just, you know, closer to the equator, a little bit more beautiful.
A lot of differences.
Some differences. But yeah, it's been great. I don't feel like I'm working with a team across the world.
Yeah, and that's what, like, you know, and a lot of agency owners, like, they want to hire out as cheap as possible, right? So they're like, how can I, or a lot of entrepreneurs right now, hey, how can I find somebody that's a virtual assistant that's as cheap as possible, work them to death, and then go replace them, right? And it's like, you know, I get it, right? Like, times are tough in business, but if that's your whole focus and mission behind doing it, like, you're missing the boat. And so, you know, I've had, you know, literally people that have been my employees here in the States and my employees in Nicaragua doing the exact same role. And it's like the employee in Nicaragua is actually 5 to 10 times better. And it's not even just the cost thing, but like the talent of some of our team members. And I will say the talent is one thing, but how much they care about working for us and then care for our clients. That's something that, again, it's not that you can find that here in the States, but the perception that because it's in Nicaragua versus the United States, like, I feel like a lot of times we're having to like jump in, or, you know, I kind of, what I was explaining to you is like, hey, like, I could do something wrong 5 times and then one of our employees does it wrong once, but they actually are the one that goes and fixes it and knows how to do everything. But because I have the personal brand, that's one thing. But the trust that we're trying to have them build with our clients, so that way it's like, hey, they're actually the best person. Like, if you just want to talk to me or talk to you because you want to talk to us, great. But like, if you think we do every piece of the puzzle, like, that's not what happens. Right.
Well, one of the big things when we had our first conversation about me joining your team, I was so impressed because you pulled up this chart that was super organized, the layout of our company, and you said, okay, she's a mom, she has 2 kids, he's single, but he's doing this in his life, and, you know, she just got married and she just got a new house. Like, the fact that you knew so much about their personal lives, and like, it's not just a virtual assistant across the world online that you're saying like, hey, do this, like, Builders of Authority actually has like this company culture where people are invested in each other's lives. So that was really something that drew me to our company. And then I forgot what the second part of the question was, but
I forgot too.
But I remember it being like talking to my husband about that, saying like, I love that, you know, Rosanna knows Ara, and, you know, they're friends. They know each other's families. Like, you know, you're invested in their lives just as much as they're invested in each other's lives. So I hope to also be a part of that. And like you said, when clients come to us, like, it's nice if they want to, you know, have someone that's, especially our local clients, like, no, I want to talk to someone in St. Louis with me. But really, they're the experts. Our team members in Nicaragua, they're the experts, and to have them, and I've seen them jump in on calls and like totally take over and answer every question and come so prepared. It's just it's an awesome thing to have, and I think our clients over time are really building amazing relationships, especially with our client experience team, and building more trust with them as well.
I think one of the this is the thing I struggled from day one of growing a team back in 2021 was like, how involved do I need to be with clients to make sure that they're happy? And I think like it's the thing that is like the greatest thing, and it's also a deterrent to our company operation, being that because people come in because of me, if I at any point, and this is for some of the clients that have been with us since we restarted, where it was like me and then 2 other people, where it was like Adam was more involved. Well, the minute that Adam's not involved, people start to ask questions. And I had to kind of struggle with, well, do I do what's best for me and for the company? Or do I do what's best for like the single individual client? Because I care so much about the individual client, and I also care about what people think, and I care about like our reputation and my reputation. And so like, you've seen it where I will go to like ends of almost making myself sick just to make sure that the one person is taken care of, when in reality, it doesn't need to be me. And so that's the thing that I've struggled with, but you've seen it with a lot of the newer clients where it's like, I'm not involved, or Donnie closes the sale or onboards the client, and like, I'm just a guy to the client, which is great. Like that's healthy, I think, for the client and for us. So what would you say as far as like experiencing some of the things that I'm talking about? Like you've seen it. If a potential client or a client's watching this, like, why is it better for us to do it the right way without me being involved? Whatever comes to mind.
You're only one man, right? You have a wife, you have a toddler, you have goals, you have like personal needs. So if anyone is coming to get the level of digital marketing services or mastermind support that we provide, they can't solely depend on you because you're one man, and we offer a team of support. So if you're looking for services, I would say look for a team that's well-rounded, that has good communication, that has good structure, and that can support you, because as entrepreneurs know, a lot of like solopreneurs are doing everything. And then when they do start to hire out and like, contract work out or partner with companies like us, sometimes they're in this mode where it's like, oh, there's one person, but really like when you get to that next level and you're growing, that you really need a team. And we have a team. Like we don't, a lot of our clients don't just have one service. They, we build them a website, and then we optimize their SEO, and then we run their Google ads. So like they're integrated into each of our departments. And if they were going to you for all of that, it would just slow down the process. The quality would not be where it is. You as a one-man show could not deliver what we're currently delivering. So I think our clients are really starting to see that, and we have great key players in place to lead those departments and do the work that needs to be done. So it just takes time. We all have habits, and so I think there are some clients that just go straight to you each time. But you've done a really good job after our conversations, I think you do like to serve people at the highest level. You do want to please people. You want people to stick with Builders of Authority. So we're trying to slow down and say like, okay, well, Adam's not going to respond right now. Let us look at it, fix it, talk it, and then give them the solution that they want. So we are like internally working on that and working on those systems to say like, okay, this would be the best person for that, or maybe I would be the best person for that, or, this director or this manager. So, it's something that we're all working towards. And I know it's hard for you to like slow down and like skip a beat, say like, okay, I'm going to give them that chance to respond before I jump in, so that you can have a greater capacity for, being the actual CEO and not the SEO specialist and not the web developer. So it's a process, and you're getting better at delegating for sure. I over the past 30 days, hearing your conversations and being a part of some of those conversations, like really optimizing the people we have and streamlining our processes has been a gift to you, the people involved, and our clients.
Yeah. I mean, you answered that awesome, and why we have it on camera so we can go back and like put a go back and like actually, because like I think part of the thing is like there's literally 2 clients, right? That like I still hop on those calls consistently with, and they're the clients that unfortunately like at one point were our largest clients, paying us a lot more, and so then they downgrade and do whatever, and then all of a sudden they expect that same level of service, and they, we try to do everything for them, and at the end of the reality, I think we all know, and they probably do too, it's probably not a great fit. But that's 2 out of the 58 or 59 clients that we have. So it's this subset that then ends up taking up so much of my time.
Right.
And whether it's the actual time or the resources or just my mental capacity of being like, oh my gosh, we cannot make these people happy, regardless of what it is that we do. And we're playing an uphill battle. But I struggle at some point, like what you just said, you explaining that, or someone on our client experience team explaining that to the client, like, I think sometimes I overstep, and that's something that I'm working on. Whereas like I should be able to and should allow you to say that to the client, to say, hey, like, I understand Adam is the attractive character of why you guys signed up with us originally. And part of the problem that I found, I think this is one of the biggest problems, is that most agencies that I've coached or that I know or whatever, is the agency owner from day one tries to remove himself as quickly as possible from client experience and from doing the fulfillment. So some agency owners have their hand forced that they can't answer the SEO question or go fix the website or dive into the paid ad account or even know what converts is because they don't know it. For me, when that question gets asked, a lot of times it's just like, oh, hey, it's here. We can go do this or we can go do that. And so I actually train the client to rely on me because I respond quick, and or I'm like, yeah, it's just right here. And so like, that's something that we just need to like holistically address. And we're kind of like working out. I'm working this out in my head on this live podcast, but like that would be a good thing to communicate to clients coming from somebody else. Like, you actually don't want Adam to respond to your emails. You don't want Adam to go and do this thing. Like, can he do it? Yes, but it's going to delay everything else and take Adam away from the strategy of being able to go and get you guys better results.
Right. Well, and it's kind of like what we did this week with the fulfillment team. We looked at, what is your big process and vision for SEO? Like, how have you been so successful with it? So we took an hour out of our crazy schedules, and you just walked through like step by step by step. This is what you've done in the past. This is what works. This is what's currently working. This is how AI is integrated into it. And so we spent an hour of you giving your process and your strategy. So I think continuously communicating to the clients, like, your strategies are still being implemented in each of our departments.
Yeah.
And then our follow-up meeting is our team, who's a team of experts, saying like, okay, we took your process. This is what we're currently doing. This is what we're building into it. This is what we can also add to that. And then we'll move to the next stage. So for our clients, just so you all know, like, Adam's strategies that attract you to Builders of Authority are implemented in each of our departments, which is awesome and will continue to be. But you only have so many hours in a day to answer emails, answer messages and all that. So we've built this system that can kind of duplicate where you've created these strategies, experienced success from them. And now we can do that for, with your companies. And then we're doing this for all of our clients and their companies too. So I think communicating with that, and then we'll just continue to do that with each of our departments and each of our services. And just, one thing that our Nicaraguan team says all the time is, are we aligned? Are we in alignment? They use that word alignment a lot, and continuously aligning with each other has been a really good best practice that I've noticed, and will continue to push going forward.
Well, and I think a lot of it comes down to making sure like we have the right people in place. So like when we started to do the Strength Finders assessments of like, you and I, obviously you mentioned like, I'm the visionary, you're the implementer, like same thing with Cynthia on her side, same thing with Rosanna as chief of staff. It's like making sure that the people that we're working with and complementary to each other, not the same person clashing and doing all the things, or the same skill set being like, hey, we're going to go like build all this stuff, and then nobody's able to like put it together. I think hands down the best team we've ever had of any business that I've ran. But I think we've done such a good job at that piece that part of the reason why I'm so excited with all these new people that we're getting ready to bring on as well is like they're all so complementary. Yeah. And it's like, hey, this person has a specialty over here and that person has a specialty. And then the new person is like a mix between the both versus it being like, oh, hey, we have 3 people that do the exact same thing this way. And that's, again, one of the things that I think makes what we're trying to do unique is we don't have to just hire anybody. We have been lucky that there's multiple people that are reaching out and people that are just reaching out with their application saying, hey, I didn't see a role ultimately that would fit what I want to do, but like, is there an opportunity? And so that's what I'm excited about. What are you kind of looking forward to kind of this next, you made it through the first 30 days or there. Like what are you excited about in this next phase?
Yeah. So I love that you're not afraid to invest in software or people, especially people. So like you said, people are reaching out and like, we don't have an open role, but we have our projections, we have our goals. We know where we want to be. And like I said, our departments are really good at being in alignment with each other. And we've been doing time audits. Like how much time does it get to do all of the services that we're saying we're doing? So we're doing the audits, we're doing that. And we're already planning like 3 steps ahead. Yep. So for me, I mean, I can put out fires if you need me to put out fires, but I love more so being a part of the growth. And we're already preparing for growth, like 2-3 months out before we need something. So for me, that it's just a great team to be a part of because everyone is projecting ahead so that we're not putting out fires, which is really nice. I'm also excited, we've talked a lot about our core values as a company over the past week and really like building our leadership team and giving them the tools to lead the specialists underneath them. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to learn from them, especially like some AI from Cynthia and making that next step. I think everyone feels this kind of like buzzing energy when we're all together because we know like another wave is coming in. I think you had a big wave of clients and then you had a big wave of new employees. And next, I think we're going to have a few more employees and another big wave of more clients. And so I think everyone's just preparing for that. And I'm excited to see that come to fruition.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with a lot of that stuff. I think it was, quicker than we expected on the clients, then quicker than we expected on adding all of these new people, and then quicker. And so now it's about okay, how do we just finish this back half of the year by following the game plan that we've been planning for literally since March 1. Yeah. And even before you came on and a lot of the employees that came on, it's okay, we were at 7 employees. We had this vision of here's all the people that we need. Here's all the processes and systems. Here's all the technology. Here's all that stuff. And seeing it come to fruition is awesome. It has been a little bit uncomfortable in certain degrees where it's I think for me, one of the craziest things is I have had this office now for 2 years, a little over 2 years. There was never a consistent employee in there. And it's awesome to be able to say, hey, I need content or I need whatever. Or you and I can just come together in 2 seconds versus trying to figure out when the Zoom meeting or when the calendar lines up. But one of the weirdest things for me is as I've been off of literally there's 2 clients that we work with that I've been on calls for. But then I hear you on those calls or whatever. And I'm walking, I'm hey, how did it go? Just stuff that I would never in a million years go to every single employee and be hey, how did the Zoom call go or whatever? Because I don't even know when they're doing stuff. But it's just having you there. It's just funny how sometimes I'll hear a conversation or hear you talk to a client. I'm oh, hey, I forgot you had that meeting or whatever. So it's kind of doing that. What's it been like being in an office for you? Talk about that.
Yeah. So I'm a people person, which is why I have a passion for in-person events for sure. So when I originally reached out to you, I was kind of looking for a remote role so that I can be in office and at home because, like I said, I have 5 kids. So I like to be with my kids, but also running a Zoom meeting with 5 kids, it's not ideal. So, I mean, the office is 11 minutes from my house. So I love that I can spend majority of the day there. I can run home for lunch if I need to.
Yep.
I love that we're both there together because in between our Zoom calls, we can we can debrief from a meeting, or I can ask you a quick question.
Yep.
I've also learned so much just hearing you in your meetings and seeing how you run meetings, how you communicate with people, all of that. Like seeing you do that, then I can kind of replicate that and then replicate that to our team.
Yep.
It's just kind of like saving more time. Or like the other day, I think we recorded like 8 reels in 10 minutes. So on a content standpoint, it's been really great too.
It's easy. Well, and I think it for me, it's, you know, especially with everything that I've kind of like gone through in business and just struggling to like find my thing that is my thing and be able to build it with people that I trust and that are in it for the right reasons. Having somebody that I can go to and just be like, hey, like, has nothing to do with the Zoom call that we're on, but like this just happened. Like, how do we figure it out? And we're able to do it much quicker without having, again, the Zoom meetings, but trying to do it in a way where it's like, okay, how do we get to the result as quick as possibly that makes sense? And here's what I'm seeing. I can show it to you because there's so many things that, again, when I'm like explaining it to the team or explaining it to someone, I'm just like, I just need somebody to like see what I'm seeing and it's right here. And that is tough to do in person. But, well, this is really cool. Like for us to just kind of like talk it out. Like, I feel like, this is something we definitely need to do more of in some sort of fashion. But any last kind of thoughts or ideas that kind of came to the forefront of this conversation, or anything else you wanted to share?
No, I mean, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to see kind of where the future is for Builders of Authority. And like I said, I've just really enjoyed being a part of this team. Everyone is like 100% in. Everyone on every single one of our teams will help the other team members. So being a part of a bigger team is really cool, and I'm excited for the next 30 days.
Yeah, love it. Well, thanks for doing this, and thanks for coming on board.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. And thank you so much for the audience for either listening or watching today's podcast. Make sure to continue to follow everything that we're doing here at Builders of Authority. Follow me on social media. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't done so already. Leave us a 5-star review. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, like the video, share this stuff on social media, especially as we start to unpack a little bit more from behind the scenes of what it's like to what we're doing running this digital marketing agency and the mastermind community. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. And remember, authority isn't built overnight, it's built over time.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. We sure do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you consume podcasts. This way you'll get notifications as new episodes become available. If you feel so inclined, please leave us a review. We sure do appreciate it. Until next time, friends.